Welcome to the deep dive. So you sent over some really fascinating sources, bits from English Central's blog, some takeaways from the Master English podcast too, all about using AI, artificial intelligence, for learning English.
That's right.
So that's what we're doing today. We're going to dive into all that material, pull out the most important stuff really about how AI is, well, changing English learning.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, how you listeners can use these tools, maybe learn faster, more effectively. It's quite exciting, this idea of tech, especially AI, boosting how we learn, isn't it?
It really is. And looking at these sources together, you really see the journey language learning has taken. I mean, think back.
Yeah.
Grammar books, maybe some tapes, classes, if you were lucky.
Right, the old ways.
Exactly. Now, these materials, they're all pointing towards, well, a pretty fundamental change.
Absolutely. It feels different. Like we've
Right.
gone from those static resources, same for everyone,
Right.
to now having tools available literally 24/7. You can practice speaking, get grammar checks instantly, vocabulary help. That's just for you.
Yeah.
It's a whole new ballgame.
And that phrase, just for you, that personalization, that's really central here. The sources kept highlighting how AI can look at your speed, your level, your specific needs,
Mm-hmm.
and then craft a learning plan just for you. It's not one size fits all anymore.
So it moves beyond that standardized curriculum we all remember.
Completely. It becomes this hyper-personalized thing,
Hmm.
which, could mean faster progress, maybe keeps you more motivated too.
That makes sense. I think the English Central blog had a good example of this. Like maybe one person really struggles with verb tenses,
Okay.
while someone else just needs, say, more business vocabulary. The AI can supposedly spot that.
Spot it and then give each person the right exercises, the right materials.
So it's kind of like having a personal coach who knows exactly where you're tripping up.
Precisely. And that links directly to learning at your own speed, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, in a class, the teacher has to aim for the middle or follow the schedule.
Right.
With AI, you can hammer away at that tricky grammar point, revisit it 10 times if you need to.
Without holding anyone else back.
Exactly. You learned in a way that actually works for your brain.
Okay, let's shift to feedback. Because this feels like maybe one of AI's superpowers in this context.
Mm-hmm. Instant feedback.
Yeah, English Central's blog really pushed this. How AI spots errors, word choice, sentence structure, and gives you the correction right then and there.
And think about the contrast, right? You write something, hand it in,
Wait a week.
maybe,
Uh-huh.
and then you get it back. With AI, the loop is immediate. Bang.
Which has to help solidify things, right? You see the mistake, you fix it, you don't keep making it.
Stops those errors becoming fossilized habits, especially for things like grammar or pronunciation.
Like a little editor on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And English Central mentioned their AI teacher, Mimi. Apparently, it gives that instant feedback right after a lesson. That seems, well, pretty useful for reinforcing things. Builds confidence, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that leads us into actually practicing conversations.
Right, because knowing rules isn't the same as talking.
Exactly. The Master English podcast mentioned this, and English Central elaborated how AI lets you simulate real dialogues.
Okay.
This is where it gets practical, isn't it? It's not just theory.
Mm.
It's about having the confidence to, to actually communicate.
Yeah, like ordering coffee or asking for directions. You might know the words, but using them naturally. That's the trick.
Mm-hmm. And these simulations, they give you a safe zone to practice those real scenarios.
Yeah.
Get fluent without the pressure.
And Mimi, the English Central AI, seems built for this. Role-playing, they called it.
Yeah, things like business meetings, hotel check-ins, restaurants.
All sorts.
That kind of specific scenario-based practice,
Yeah.
that must be incredibly valuable for building skills you can actually use tomorrow.
So English Central seems to have really baked AI into their whole system. It's not just like one feature.
No, it seems integrated. They have the videos, the lessons, the more traditional stuff.
Right.
But Mimi is there throughout, like a constant AI guide.
And it creates personalized quizzes based on words you struggled with.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And then gives you detailed progress reports after lessons.
So you can really track, okay, I'm getting better here, but I still need work on, say, prepositions.
That level of specific tracking, yeah, lets you see the progress and focus your energy.
But it's also important, English Central pointed this out, they still have human teachers, right? One-on-one lessons, group classes.
Yes, that blend seems key. It's not just AI. It leverages technology and human connection.
Got it. They have that watch, learn, speak approach for videos too, and vocabulary quizzes.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
And a free trial lesson, which is always good. Lets people test it out. And this whole blend, AI plus human support, That feels like what effective tech learning looks like now. The Master English podcast mentioned this idea, the age of augmented intelligence.
Augmented intelligence, okay.
Yeah, it's not AI replacing us, it's AI amplifying us,
Yeah.
giving us better tools to learn.
That's a really critical distinction. And, the podcast also raised some interesting psychological points
Oh.
about how AI helps us learn.
Ah,
Things like getting feedback that's safe, private, instant, and totally non-judgmental.
yes. The judgment-free zone.
Exactly. They told that story about Marco, the guy from Italy,
Right, using ChatGPT and voice apps.
and how his speaking confidence just shot up because the AI didn't care if he made mistakes.
That emotional safety, that's a big deal. In a classroom, you might clam up, right? Fear of looking silly.
Your way.
With AI, that pressure's gone. You can just try things out, make mistakes, learn without feeling watched or judged.
And they mentioned cognitive load theory, too. Did you find that interesting?
Yeah, the idea that our brains can only juggle so much new info at once.
Right. And AI can help by breaking things down into smaller pieces.
And teaching in context. So instead of just, memorizing a list of grammar rules, the AI shows you those rules used in a real conversation. Makes it stick better, potentially. Less abstract.
Easier for the brain to handle, maybe? And linking back to emotional safety, the podcast argued that feeling less anxious actually helps you learn faster.
Makes sense. If you're not afraid to mess up, you'll practice more, take more risks with the language.
And that accelerates things. Okay, so let's get practical. What tools can people actually use? Both sources had suggestions.
They did. ChatGPT and similar chatbots came up a lot.
For conversation practice.
Yeah, practice conversations, help writing emails. It'll even correct your drafts.
Yeah.
Learning vocabulary in context, too.
Oh, and the tip about simulating job interviews with it. That's clever. Great way to prep.
Definitely. Then there are speech recognition tools.
Yeah.
Elsa Speak was mentioned, Google's AI.
For pronunciation.
Exactly. Getting feedback on your accent, how clearly you're speaking. The Master English podcast had that great example, the student in Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Who massively improved their accent using Elsa Speak, just a little bit each day.
That consistency, even just a few minutes, seems really effective for pronunciation, building that muscle memory.
And for vocab, AI-powered flashcards. Like Anki, but with AI plugins.
Right. Anki already uses spaced repetition, which is smart.
Shows you words just before you forget them.
Exactly. Adding AI can apparently make that even smarter, optimizing when you see each word for better long-term memory. It's not just rote learning, it's strategic.
It feels like all this tech taps into how our brains actually like to learn.
Well, the Master English podcast suggested that. Our brains love patterns. They respond well to immediate feedback.
Which AI is great at providing.
Right. It's a move away from that linear cover-to-cover textbook approach towards learning that adapts, constantly adjusts to you, your progress, even your learning style.
And they brought up neuroplasticity.
Yes. The idea that consistent, meaningful practice, the kind AI can help provide, actually changes your brain.
Rewires it, basically.
Strengthens those language pathways. So you're not just memorizing, you're genuinely building fluency at a neural level.
Wow. And the cool thing is, you're in control. The learner.
Yeah.
You don't need perfect grammar to start speaking with an AI. You can just start. Practice now. Grow faster.
And this came through strongly in both sources, AI isn't magic.
Right. It's a tool.
A powerful one, yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't replace your effort, your curiosity, your discipline.
Your desire to actually connect with people using English.
Exactly. That human element is still absolutely vital.
The Master English podcast had a nice way of putting it. AI is like a non-judgmental mirror.
Reflecting your effort, your progress.
Yeah. But you are the one looking in the mirror. You're the key to your own learning.
Absolutely. So I think the big takeaway from this deep dive is, well, learning English now. It's more accessible, more tailored, maybe even more exciting than it's ever been.
Thanks to AI and tech, yeah.
You've got these tools that can personalize your path, give instant feedback, let you practice real conversations safely.
We definitely encourage listeners to, check some of these out. See how AI could fit into your routine. Amplify your practice, speed things up.
It really shows how education is changing, doesn't it? More power, more personalization for the learner.
It really does. So it leaves us thinking, with all these different AI tools popping up, which one might you, listening now, decide to explore first on your English journey? What's the next step for you?